video, I want to share with you 5 reasons for learning more than one language at the same time. If you're watching this video, it is probably because you're already interested in learning more than one language at the same time, but not sure whether it's a good idea. Reason number 1. The first and most important reason is that you are interested in more than one language, and what you really want is what matters. Why should other people tell you what you can and can't do? They don't know you, so they can only say what didn't work for them. Everyone is different. Most of the time when people say something is impossible, it's actually just because they couldn't do it, or because they haven't actually tried to do it, but they still don't think it's possible. Some may even say that something is impossible just because it makes them feel better about themselves. It's much easier to say that no one could do something instead of admitting to ourselves that we did something wrong. For example, not using the right method. A quote I really like states, "Everyone said it was impossible. Then one day, someone who was unaware of how challenging it was just came along and did it." What's important to remember is that if someone doesn't succeed in doing something, it's due to facts linked to their life, not yours. Do what you love, believe in yourself, find your own way and follow your own path. Reason number 2. Learning several languages at the same time is possible. Everyone is able to learn different things at the same time. We do it every day. We learn and carry out different actions the whole day, every day. No kid will ever say, "Sorry, Mom, I'm learning how to brush my teeth. How can I also learn how to put my toys back into the box after playing?" In the same way, no adult would say at work, "Sorry, I'm learning how to do X, so I can't learn how to do Y." Now that it's clear that we can learn several things at the same time, let's address the 2 biggest concerns regarding this topic, which are actually 2 of the main reasons why learning several languages at the same time is a great idea. Reason number 3. Learning languages at the same time will speed up your learning process. When you learn 2 or more similar languages, there are obvious advantages in terms of grammar. Once you have understood a certain grammar point in one language, it takes considerably less time to understand and use the same or similar grammar points in another language. For example, when I teach Italian, Spanish and French in the same course, it normally takes 10 to 15 minutes for my students to understand and use past tense in Italian, but it takes them only a couple of minutes to use similar forms in Spanish and French. When it comes to vocabulary, it takes an even less time and effort to understand and use similar words. You don't have to learn everything from scratch for each language, you just have to learn the differences. Of course, you could also do that after having learned the language. But once you're fluent in a language, you don't normally think about grammar rules anymore. So when you start learning a new similar language, you have to revise the same or similar rules again, wasting precious time. When you learn similar languages at the same time, you don't have to remember the rule because you have just heard it. Besides, because grammar rules and or words are similar, for your brain, it's as if you are revising them when you are really hearing them for the first time. The time that you spend learning similar languages is no way proportional to the number of languages you learn. For example, if it takes you 1 year to become fluent in one language, learning multiple or similar languages at the same time means that it will take you almost the same amount of time to learn the others. This is because you pick up similar grammar rules almost immediately, and because anything similar that you read and hear in one language helps you to take your revision to the next level. It's like killing 2 birds with 1 stone. What happens when we learn languages from different language families? On one hand, if you combine similar languages to 1 or more non-similar languages, your brain will thank you. It's like giving your brain a break without taking a rest. For example, If you study Italian and French together and then switch to German, for your brain, it's as if you are carrying out a different activity, and when you go back to a similar language, let's say Spanish, you will be ready to absorb new information again. On the other hand, if you only learn languages from different families, you lose the benefit of similar vocabulary. But no matter the language you want to learn, learning several languages at the same time will help you develop your language skills and improve your general understanding of grammar and how languages work. All of this will help you to pick up new bits of languages much more quickly. Additionally, even languages which don't seem to have much in common do have similarities. I've studied 24 languages and I was surprised by the way each language helped me at some point or another with other languages. Sometimes it was a word or a grammar point, or a sound or an expression which was similar in another language. And other times it was the mental association that a certain word provoked in my mind. If you have already tried to learn different dances, you will know that everything you learn in one dance will help you improve the others. Also if you learn them at the same time, because many of the principles behind them are similar. The same happens with languages. Reason number 4. Learning languages at the same time helps you avoid mix-up languages. To better explain this point, let's have a look at the reasons why people mix languages up. 1. They speak or learn one language much more often than the others, so the brain goes back to the most frequently used or learned language. 2. They rarely speak these languages. 3. They know one of the languages very well, but the others not as well in comparison, and they don't practice the newest ones. 4. They are not used to switch languages. 5. The languages features of one or more languages are not clear yet. Language features are the current differences between two similar languages or special characteristics of a given language. In a different video, I will explain in detail what I mean by language features. The best way to avoid mixing up languages is very simple: speak them. Get enough speaking practice in the languages you don't want to mix up. It also helps a lot if you focus on the differences between languages and on the language features. In doing so, your brain will be aware of the differences, and this will affect the way you speak. It also helps a lot if you focus on differences between languages and on the language features. In doing so, your brain will be aware of the differences, and this will affect the way you speak. This last point can really speed up your learning process and enhance your ability to switch languages. But as long as you practice your languages enough, you will make progress. You can do that by yourself or have someone help you. Multilingual lessons are very effective because your multilingual teacher knows all the languages you want to learn and can help you A. clarifying the language features, and B. switch from one language to another. It normally takes only 2 or 3 multilingual lessons for my students to almost stop mixing up languages, and they start speaking all the languages from day one. You could also try my unique online multilingual courses. Learning very similar languages together is useful not only because you will learn them more quickly, but also will get used to switching from one to the other from the very beginning. It's much easier to form a new habit than change an old one. So the earlier you learn to distinguish between two languages you want to learn, the better. Reason number 5. Why should you wait for years before you start doing what you are currently interested in? If you are thinking about learning more than one language at the same time, it means you are already interested in more than one language. The reason varies from person to person, but it may have something to do with a partner who speaks a different language, a country you would like to live in or visit, a job for which a certain language could be important, good friends from another country, or just curiosity about other languages and cultures. Whatever the reason, if it's important to you, why wait for years before starting to do what you want to do today? People who say that you should only learn one language at a time normally mean that you should first reach an advanced level before you start a new language. Reaching an advanced level in a language normally takes at least 1 or 2 years, if not longer. You've got a good reason to learn a language now. For example, you really need a language certificate in order to emigrate. You're going to travel this year and you want to be able to speak with locals. Or your partner or kids speak language you don't understand. Why wait? Learning more than one language at the same time is great. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked it, please subscribe to my channel. I will soon publish new videos about multilingual learning and language learning. See you soon and have a nice day. Bye.